Well, from all of us here at the Weather Network, we wish you a happy New Year's Eve here on Weather AM. Let's see how your forecast is shaping up as we wrap up 2025. A beautiful shot here by way of Whistler, British Columbia. I think the skiers would agree. This is a pretty majestic scene right there. And now let's get into how our forecast conditions are shaping up, not only for today, but as we look ahead into the first few days of 2026. Now we'll be talking about the active weather in parts of southern Ontario today with lake effect snowfall and a system pushing into Atlantic Canada for New Year's Day. Could be bringing some widespread snow there. Now let's start off in northern parts of the country where we do have this low pressure system over Hudson's Bay. That's bringing some blizzard warnings to many parts of Nunavut, including parts of northern Manitoba like Churchill. So while that's going on, we are still dealing with some snowfall in parts of the Northwest Territories and Yukon as well. Now, southern British Columbia, it's been a fairly dry couple of days with more active conditions taking aim at the central coast. But as we look in towards not New Year's Day, but Friday, the second day of the new year, we start to see that active pattern returning to southern areas, although it might be kicking off a couple days of rainy weather for areas like Vancouver. Now, as far as the prairies, well, we've been seeing kind of an unbalanced temperature pattern, way colder into more western or eastern and northern areas, while areas like southern Alberta have been very mild. Now, as we can see, not much in the way of wind except for areas like northern Manitoba, where again, we do have the blizzard warning in effect for some communities for today, and we're looking at some snowfall moving across central parts of the region. Now, as we get into our New Year's Eve, late afternoon, there is a risk of some freezing rain in parts of Alberta we see here, and then mostly just light snowfall we're tracking a couple rounds of. Now, temperature-wise, we're going to see much of the region remain cold, a pretty stable temperature pattern for Winnipeg. However, for areas like Edmonton and Calgary, we'll see a noticeably colder pattern moving in. Well, active weather in the eastern half of the country, a lot to get to, so let's begin with some of the driving conditions. Of course, that will be top of mind for those contending with the lake effect snow squalls for our New Year's Eve and elsewhere. We've had that temperature really dip, and that's made for a rapid freeze and a good opportunity to play a little shinny out on the street. Gotta love it. Now, as far as the active weather, yeah, not just the lake effect snow, but a system for New Year's Day that we mentioned pushing into Atlantic Canada. Now, we'll start off with some of the lake effect snowfall totals, higher amounts in the snow belt region. Toronto will be getting less snow, although around the dinner time hour on our New Year's Eve, it does look like the wind combining with a bit of more widespread snow could make for some poor visibility. But again, not expecting a whole lot of snow in Toronto, kind of like what you might remember 2 years ago on New Year's Eve, a heavy dose of snow. Different situation this year. Now, windy conditions are expected, and that could be, again, amplifying some of the impacts from that lake effect activity. And as far as temperatures go, we're already trending colder than usual, but very cold air moving in further and further into eastern Canada, really dropping temperatures for our New Year's Day. So a high of -8 for areas like Toronto. Now, looking at a high of -11 degrees, feeling like -16 for Montreal. Even colder daytime highs for our New Year's Day. So again, that theme of cold air really setting in for the start of 2026. And after a fairly quiet weather day, other than the cold for southern Quebec, we are going to be seeing some late New Year's Eve snowfall pushing in, lingering into the morning of our January 1st here. Now, off to Atlantic Canada, we have some sea effect snow that we're working with for our New Year's Eve. However, things will kind of intensify as we look into this next system arriving. That'll more so be starting to push in tomorrow morning. Areas like Newfoundland, even some freezing rain mixed in there, but as we get deeper into the afternoon of our New Year's Day, more widespread heavy snowfall expected for parts of the Maritimes, and some gusty winds could be alongside as well.